The Hill House is thrilled and honored to welcome a person leading the charge. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and the Hill House Association in welcoming Senator John Edwards.
Thank all of you for being here, and thank you to Evan for that great introduction, for his great leadership here at Hill House. I also want to say a personal thank you to the three speakers who I thought did an extraordinary job of explaining why the work of Hill House and why all of our work together to try to end poverty in this country is so important. I have to tell all of you, some of you may know this already, I've been on this stage before. I was here, it seems like it was August or so, was it August 11th? In August of last year, participating in a Wake Up Walmart campaign. And I'm proud to be back today on what I think is the great moral cause of our time. The cause that this great institution has been working on for many, many years, that many of you have spent chunks of your life working on. I'm proud to be arm in arm with you in this fight to end poverty in this country. Now, we started, I have to tell you a little bit about what we've seen before we got to this wonderful place. You know, we started in New Orleans. We did a walking tour, my wife Elizabeth and I. Elizabeth's doing great, by the way. Somebody just held up, we love Elizabeth's sign. When Elizabeth and I did a walking tour through the 9th Ward of New Orleans, and it's heartbreaking to see what's happening there. I think New Orleans is a national embarrassment for America to have stood by and watch what's happened in New Orleans when the hurricane hit, what's continued to happen since that time, is, in my judgment, a complete failure of presidential leadership. And we need coming out of the 9th Ward of New Orleans is just a microcosm of what exists all over this country. And we all know it. You know, we know that we have extraordinary racial and economic segregation in this country. You go to virtually any big city in America, and you're going to see that kind of racial and economic segregation. The question is not, does it exist? We know it exists, don't we? The question is, what are we going to do about it? Us, all of us together. And I will tell you, you probably figured this out already, this is the cause of my life. You know, I am so proud to be working on this effort. And we left New Orleans, by the way, and went to Canton, Mississippi, where we met with poultry workers who are being taken advantage of and being abused. You know, one of the great misperceptions that exist in this country today is that poor people are poor because they don't work, and they're not willing to work. Well, that's not the truth. We all know it's not the truth, and America needs to hear from us on this. And here's a bunch of good people who are working hard, trying to support their families. They're not being paid for some of the hours they're working. They're working under very, very dangerous conditions. Somebody's got to speak for them, and we are going to speak for them. And we have and went to the historic town of Marks, Mississippi, where we walked down Cotton Street, which is where the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., many decades ago, started the Poor People's March. He walked down Cotton Street and saw children who didn't have any food. He saw families living in deep, deep poverty, and he spoke out with courage and strength. You know, Dr. King, I had the privilege a little while back of speaking at Riverside Church in New York, where 40 some odd years ago, Dr. King gave an incredible speech that applies perfectly to this issue of poverty in America as it existed then and as it exists now. What he said was this. He said, there comes a time in all of our lives when we stand quietly by and allow injustice and unfairness to continue, that our silence is a betrayal. It's a betrayal of us. It's a betrayal of the country we love so much. It's a betrayal of those who need us to speak out for them. Now, in that case, he was talking about being silent on the war in Vietnam. But what Dr. King understood as well as anybody is when you stand quietly by and allow people to live in deep poverty, when you stand quietly by, we got 37 million people in this country who live in poverty. 15 million live in deep poverty. I mean intractable deep poverty. It is not okay. The work that Dr. King began in Marks, Mississippi, that work has to continue today. And he has left this legacy in our hands. He has left this responsibility to us. And we left Marks, Mississippi, and we went to West Helena, Arkansas, where we met with a whole group of home health workers, and they got the same problem. They're working. Sometimes they have to stay with the people they're taking care of. Do they get paid for it when they spend the night? No. Do they get paid overtime? No. How in the United States of America? I thought we were supposed to be the best, richest nation on the planet. Can we have people who are working full time and living in poverty? Never again. We're going to put an end to this. And then they left there and went to Memphis, Tennessee, where they're also doing the kind of great work that's being done here. An interfaith organization where they're lifting families up, giving opportunity to children, to families, many of whom have struggled mightily. And we left there, we went to Cleveland. And by the way, in Cleveland this morning, I saw something that would absolutely break your heart. And this was not in a poor neighborhood. This was in a middle-class, mostly African-American neighborhood where people had worked. I met one man who's worked in the school system for 25 years. His wife has worked in the school system for many years. Their greatest asset is their home. They're about to lose their home to these predatory lenders. The same thing is happening to family after family after family. In a one-block radius, 38 homes in foreclosure. 38 homes. And this is not a poor neighborhood. These are working middle-class people. The one thing that we got to make sure everybody in this country understands and knows in their gut is this cause, this march that we're on, to end poverty and give opportunity, real opportunity to everybody. It's not just about the poor. Everybody's at risk. Everybody is vulnerable. Working middle-class families are at risk. And by the way, what I saw firsthand this morning in Cleveland is a perfect example of why we have got to have a national predatory lending law that cracks down on these payback predatory and does not allow them to it's not just payday lenders, it's also not just predatory lenders, also payday lenders. You know, sometimes people say to me, this is something Evan understands very well. People will say to me, why would anybody go to a payday lender and pay 300%, 400%, 500% interest? Well, there's a simple answer to that. If you're 2 days from payday and your children have got to eat, you'll do about anything, won't you? And that's what these people know. And they come to our most vulnerable at their most vulnerable moment, and they strip away everything they have and put them deep, deep into debt. We ought to cap the interest these payday lenders can charge. They should not be able to charge 3, 4, 500%. But we left Cleveland, went to Youngstown, went to an extraordinary place in Youngstown, the Beatitude House, where I met with 4 women. These are the kind of people, by the way, that keep me going when I'm tired. And I can tell a little bit sometimes. But they keep me going. They inspire me. These are 4 extraordinary women, hard lives. One of them was the victim of domestic violence. Another who had a drug problem. One of them had actually been a manager at McDonald's for years, but just got into a little bit of a problem, went deep in the ditch, and all 4 of them had lost a place to live and become homeless, basically.